Hello all, this is the continuation to the previous video. In the previous video, we spoke about primitive variables. In this video, we will talk about reference variables. Before discussing about the reference variables, we will see what are the rules that we should follow while declaring a name for a variable or for a class or for a method. Let's see. Now, if you see here, we have created our own classes, like we have created dog class and we have created movie class and then the song class, player class, everything. So this dog name is given by us and the song name is declared by us. And even if you see inside the dog class, you have the variables, like we have instance variables and there are local variables as well here, method variables here as well, names. And then there are methods we have declared and this name is given by us. So basically the class names or the variable names or the method names are given by us and it's according to us. Like people can use their own names, okay? But though people can use their own names, there are two specific rules that anyone should follow while declaring a name for any class, method or a variable. So what are those rules? If you look at here, it must start with a letter, underscore or dollar sign. You can't start a name with a number. Let's see. So what they are saying is, you should not use numeric values as the first character for name. Let's see, I use 1. What it is showing? It is showing red mark. Let's see what is invalid method declaration. So the method name you have declared is invalid because you are using with the numerics. Numeric values are avoided. It's not in scope. So if you look at the keyboard, apart from the numeric, what else you have? You can use alphabets, be it small case or the uppercase, and then you have special characters. Okay, let's start with already we are using the alphabets as a starting letter. It's working fine. Let's see whether you can use any special character or not. Let me start at the rate. So it is throwing error. Cannot resolve symbol, and let me try with brackets. Okay. So it is showing invalid method declaration. So even if I give special character, it's not allowing. Let's try with dollar. There is no problem, okay? If I use dollar, it's not throwing any invalid method declaration. Let's use underscore. It's working fine. Let's use capital A, it works fine. Let's use small a, it works fine. So when you tried with numerics, it threw error, and when you tried with special characters apart from underscore and dollar, it threw error. So the first character of any name should not start with numerics and any special character apart from dollar and underscore. Okay. So you either start with dollar, underscore and any alphabet. But you should not start with numerics and special symbols apart from dollar and underscore. And the remaining characters, let's say B. And the remaining characters you can use numerics, okay? It works fine. And let's say if I use special character, it will not work. So apart from the first character, all other character can have alphabets, can have dollar, underscore and can have numerics as well, 1, 2, 3 and then underscore dollar, it works fine. But if I use percentage, it won't work. So the rules are first character should start only with alphabet and then dollar or underscore, and the remaining character should start with alphabet, dollar or underscore and then numerics. These are the two rules that anyone should follow while declaring a name for a class, method or any instance variables or the local variables. Now let's start with reference variables. So what are the reference variables? Let's say what we have done here, you have created a dog class. Like dog will have the size, it will have the name, it has the size, breed and then the name. And it has few methods as well. So as we have already discussed, these are the things that dog knows and these are the things that dog does. So this represents the state of the dog. Like by looking at the dog, you can say the size, breed and the name. And what dog usually do, it can bark or it can eat the food or it can chase the cat. These are the actions that a dog can do. Now, this is the class. This is just the blueprint or the template. Now to actually create objects, let's say I want to use a specific breed of the dog. What we have done, you should create the object for the dog, right? You should create the object for the dog. So what I'll do is I'll create object for the dog, and then dog, then new dog off. So this is the object I have created. Okay, it worked fine. Now here let's compare this with the primitive variables. Now what I have done, let's say int I equal to 10. So first thing here, you should specify the type of the variable. Here dog is the type. Whatever object you are creating, it is of type dog. It is not of type giraffe or cat or rabbit. Okay, whatever object you have created, it follows the rules that are specified in this dog class, because you have used new dog of. So this will become type of your object that you have created. So the same type you have specified here. Let's say I use song here. Would it work? Definitely not. It threw error because you require a type song, but you are assigning a dog object. Okay. So whatever the type of object you are creating a dog. So this object is of type. So the type you have to declare here, and the name here also you have declared int as the type, and then here you have used the dog name. It can be any dog. So let's say shepherd, like anything. Dog 1, dog 2, dog 3. You can declare any name. But here what we have done is you have assigned values directly, but instead of that you are creating a new object. Okay, new dog of. So now let's say what you have done is you have created a dog object and you assigned it to the object of, and you have assigned it to the object of type dog. You have assigned it to a dog type. You did not assign it to any song type or cat type. Okay, it don't work, because let's say what you have done, what you do is, now I want to invoke, I want to my dog to bark. What we should do, dog3 dot bark off. Because to invoke methods on this object, what you have to do is you have to use this variable name, and you have to use this dot, and then you have to use the method name dog3 dot bark up, then it will bark. Let's say you want to change the size. What you will do, you will use this variable name, and then you will use this dot operator, and then you will do dot3 dot size of, maybe you can use 50. This will work. So to invoke methods or to invoke instance variables on this dog object, what you are doing is you are taking the name, and then you are using the dot operator, and then you are invoking the methods. Let's say if I assign dog to some song, okay, would it work? Like let's imagine you imagine that, let's say if you want to put dog inside a cat variable, would it work? Definitely it won't work, because now you are using this variable name and you are asking to bark, but the song will not bark. Or let's say you create something like cat, okay, and you have created an object of dog and you are putting it inside the cat variable, but and then you are invoking the bark method and the size method. Will cat bark? No, right? So it will definitely throw error. So Java acts like, Java is very strict about the types. Like if you try to assign the objects to any irrelevant types, it will throw error. The same thing we have observed in the primitives as well. If you try to use decimal for the int, throw error. The same thing happens here. You should, like whatever object you have created, you should assign that the variable to the same variable. Like dog object you have created, and the type of this object will become dog. So you have created dog3 is of type dog. Okay, and then let's say I create a song. Okay, song, new song. Okay, what you will do is new of song. Now you have created object of song, and then you should assign it to only the song. You should not assign to any game or the player. Okay, so the reference variables are like, so people can think I'm saying reference variables, I'm not saying the object variables. Like here I have created an object, and this dog is holding the object, and this dog is holding this one. So why are you not saying this dog as a reference object variable? Because this is holding objects. Like here if you see int I. So what I is of integer type. Here what I'm saying, I is an integer variable. And why are you not saying dog3 as a dog variable? Why are you saying as a reference variable? Because what happens is objects behaves a little different, okay? Now, whenever you do this new dog off, what happens is there is a heap memory that is present in the Java, okay? So, inside that heap memory, it creates an object dog. So, let me show that here. So, what happens is, let's say here, this is the dog object, okay? This is the heap actually present. So what Java does is, whatever the objects you create, not the primitives, whatever the objects you create, it will assign some memory on the heap, and it will create the object. And if you talk about the variable, so this is the variable, okay? So this is the variable, and it will not directly hold the object. Now, if you see the primitives, right, what happened? 100 value is directly inserted in the variable. But for the objects, what happens is it will not directly hold the object. It will hold a reference for the object. So, what is mean by a reference? So, object lies somewhere. Object lies on the heap, and you have a variable somewhere, and inside the variable what it does is it will hold some way to access the object. Let's say it will hold the address of the object, okay? On the memory, like it will have the start address and the end address, right? It will hold the address of the object. So whenever you invoke b.barkoff, what it will do is it will go to this address, like it will have the address, like this variable. If I say this dog3 will have the address of this object, it will not actually hold the object. It will have address of the new object that got created, and then this dog3 will have the only address. When it invokes the barkoff, what it will do is it will go to this particular address that is present, and then it will invoke the barkoff method. So actually what happens for the objects is object lies on the heap, and the reference variables on the variables here, whatever you declare, it will just hold a reference or address. So I am saying address, but it depends on the JVM. Like it depends on, it varies from one JVM to another JVM, okay? Now let us consider this as a remote, okay? Whenever it holds a remote control where you will have buttons for each thing. Now let's say it holds a remote for the dog object, okay? So let's say it holds the remote for the dog object, dog object here. So what that remote will have is, let's say you invoke bark method. You can invoke this particular button, okay? You can invoke this particular button, and if you want to set the size, you can invoke this button. So this button, what actually it does is, it in the back end, it will go to the actual book object and it will call the bark method, or it will set the size. So what we are doing is, we are not actually holding the object, we are just holding a remote control or a reference for the object that we have created. That's why for the objects, we call these as the reference variables. We don't call these as the object variables, because these variables are not actually holding the object. They are just holding a reference or something that can access the object, okay? Now let's look at this diagram. What had happened before is, inside the holders, like as I said, variable is nothing but a container which can hold something. If it is a primitive variable, it can directly hold the long value that is specified within that range. And if it is an integer value, it can hold 32-bit integers. And if it is a short, it can hold 16-bit integers, right? But if you talk about a reference variables, it is also a container, or similar to long in primitive variable. But in the container, it will not have the object value. It will not have the object value. It will have some reference which can, like using this, you can actually invoke methods or the variables on the object. So here what you can show is, what you can think is, here the bit depth does not play major role here. It just holds a reference, right? Let's say, let us assume it holds the address of the object. So address usually have few bits. And even if you consider about, even if you consider this as a song object, right? It will hold few bits that can refer the object. Okay, so this is how object works. Now let's see, this is the reference variable. This is the remote control, as I said, right? This is the remote control. If you see, it will have some buttons related to the eat method, bark method, and this is the holder container or the variable, reference variable, and then it will have the remote. When you invoke d.bark method, this particular button gets invoked, and this button internally goes to the virtual object that is present on the heap, and then it will invoke the methods. This is how the object variables works, and you can assign these variables. Okay, let's say you have a song, right? So what song variable does is, it will have some remote control which will have buttons for play. Whenever you click on a song, what you can do, you will play the song. Here it will have methods for the song, and then it will have methods to set title and artist. For a song, you will have a title name, right? And then you will have the artist name who has sung the song. It will have methods for that. So all the song variables will hold song objects, any song objects. Now let's say what happens is, now here I have done it, right? Now what I'll do is, I'll create another dog object, dog4, new dog of. What you can do here, let's dog3. If you see dog3 equal to dog4, it works fine, because dog3 can hold the dog4 object as well. What are the remote control that we have specified? It will have eat method, bark method, but this dog remote control will have eat, bark method. Now if you create another dog object, and if you try to assign that, like if you try to assign the dog object to this reference variable, what you can do, like it has eat bark methods, and this object also has eat bark methods. So when you click on it, you can actually go to this object and can make the dog eat. But let's say if you assign this particular dog variable to a song, and when you add a link like this for the song and the remote control, and when you click on the eat, does it make sense if you invoke eat method on the song? No, right? You can't invoke. So what I am saying here is, you can assign any type of any dog object to this dog variable, okay, dog4 variable to this dog3 variable, and you can do this as well, dog4 equal to dog3. This will work because this reference variable has some remote control that can access methods and the variables on only dog, but any dog object, but not the song. Let's say I'll create song, okay, song equal to new song of. If I try to assign this song to the dog4 reference variable, it won't work, because when I invoke dog4 dot like dog4 dot bark of, so what happens, you are actually trying to like what it does is, it will go to the object that it is referring. It will go to the song object, and then it will try to invoke bark of on song method, but doesn't happen. Song does not have any variable. Okay, so this is how object references works. So whatever the variables that holds the virtual objects, though they do not actually hold the object, they hold some references of the objects like remote control, and using that remote control you can the objects. Now let's see few examples of object creation and how the values are referenced. Let us assume that there is a book object. So as we discussed, whenever you do this new book of, an object gets created on the heap, and then so this right hand side is related to the heap, and then this left hand side is related to the referencing. So when you do book B, what happens is a variable gets created, like a reference variable or a container to hold reference of the book object, like to hold a remote control to book object gets created, book B. When you do this just left hand side, a container which holds the reference, which can hold the reference of the book object, can gets created. And when you do like left hand part, when you do book B, this part gets created, and when you do new book of, this part gets created. When you club those two, book B equal to new book of, what happens is this reference gets linked to this book object. So this is a three-step process. First, create a reference variable, create an object, and when you do assignment, equal assignment, those two get referenced. Now with these two statements, what happens is book B equal to new book of, a variable of type book gets created, a variable B of type book gets created here, and then a new object gets created on the heap, and since we have done equal assignment, these two gets referenced. So that when people does B dot of get title of book title, then they get the title of this book object. And the second statement, if you look at here, what happens is a variable C gets created, and that variable is of type book. And then when you do this new book of, a new object gets created on the heap. And when you do this equal assignment, what happens is this reference variable can actually gets linked to this object, and whenever you invoke c dot get title of something like that, it gives you the title of only this object, not this object, because this is reference to this, right? So these two statements refers this particular example, and let's see what happens. Now what we do is, let's say you create another reference variable book D, and then you assign C to D. So first let's see the left hand side, book D. Whenever you do book D, what happens is it creates a reference variable. Okay, it had created a reference variable, and since it is this reference variable is of type book, what it will have is it will have a remote control which can access only a book object, right? Now since on the left hand side, what you are doing is you are not creating a new object. What you are doing is you are assigning the C to B. So when you assign C to B, what happens is a new object does not get created. A new object which is similar to C does not get created. So that is the important point here. In Java, a new objects or new memory or a memory gets assigned to the object only when you do instantiation using the new operator. Okay. So here, since you did not use any new book of, a new object does not get created on the heap. What actually happens is, see this C variable, what it has, this C variable does not hold the object actually, it holds a reference to access the book. So this reference, whatever C has, gets copied to the D. So when it copies the reference, so this reference also will have some bytes, okay, some 0, 0, 1, 0. So since this C is not holding objects, what happens is C is holding only reference to this second book. So it will copy the reference that is present, or the remote control that is present in C to D. So when it gets copied, what happens? It will also access, like when you do D dot get title of, it also accesses the same object that C is referring to. But actually a new object does not get created because you did not use this new operator. And one more thing is, since you are just doing an assignment, only a reference object gets assigned, okay? Only a whatever is there in the reference variable that gets copied. The object does not actually gets copied because C is not actually holding the object. C is just holding the reference, okay? This statement refers that. Now let us see one more thing. Now if you see here, by the end of this particular first diagram, what you have two reference variables, and then you have two objects on the heap. By the end of second diagram, objects on the heap, but you have three reference variables that are referring only two objects. Now let's see another thing. Here what happens is, let's assign C to B. Let's assign B to C. So here if you see, B is actually referring this. When you assign B to C, what happens is, whatever the reference that is present in the B, that gets copied to the C. So when you copy reference of B to C, what happens? This C starts referring to the first book object instead of the second book. Now it will not have the reference of the second book object, it will have the reference of the first book object. And you can exchange you can assign the new references, because B also holds the reference of type book, and C also holds the reference of type book. You are not assigning reference of another type like song or cat or dog. You are assigning reference of only book. That's why C can still copy the reference of the B to the C, and C can still access the first book object. Now it will not access the second book object. So that's the result of this diagram. So what happens is when you do this B to C, C also gets a reference of B. So C starts referring to the first object. So by the end of third diagram, what you have? You have three reference variables and two objects. B and C are actually referring to the first object, and D is actually referring to the second object. Let's see another example, okay? Now this is the same thing what we have done. Like you have created two objects, okay? New book of. These are actually present on the heap, and then you have created two variables, reference variables, book B and book C, and book B is referring to the first object and book C is referring to the second object. Now let's do one more thing. B and C are actually referring it, right? Now let us assume that let's say let me do one more thing here. Let's say C equal to B. Okay, not B equal to C. Let me do this statement. When you say B equal to C, what happens? Whatever is present in the C, that gets assigned to the B. So whatever the reference bits or the remote control that is present in the C gets copied to the B. Okay. Now if you see, if like after this statement, what happens is C will start referring to the B will start referring to the C object, because whatever bits that are present or whatever remote control that is present in the C gets copied to the B. Since C is already referring to the second book object, B also will start referring to the second object. Okay. So after this statement, what happens is there are two reference variables referring to only a single object, and there is one object that is present on the heap which has no references. So what happens in what the JVM or the garbage collector actually does is, let's say you have so many objects, like people sometimes they create unnecessary multiple objects, and sometimes they don't have any references to these objects. Like if they don't, the only way to reach this object is the reference, right? If there is no references that are to the object, then in Java no one can reach this object, because now, like let's say here in the statement, what I do is, let me go to this main method, and let us assume what I do is I do new book of. What happens? An object gets created on this statement is still valid, okay? New dog of, let's say new dog of. This statement is still valid. A dog object gets created on the heap. But can I actually use methods on this? No. Because what happens is, I don't have any reference variable to use objects. I don't have any reference variable to use methods or to use the instance variable of this. Like if now, like I want to use something on this, I don't have reference variable, because if I need to do this d.bark, I should have some reference variable like this. So if there is no reference variable, you can't even invoke methods for the state. You can't do that, right? So that's why you can still create objects on the heap without reference variables, but those are of no use. So what garbage collector does is, like if you keep on creating objects like this, then your memory, like whatever memory you allocate, it won't be sufficient, right? So to clean up the memory, garbage collector cleans up all the objects that are present on the heap with no references, because if there is no reference, then no one can reach this object, and since no one can reach this object, there is no use of this object on the heap at all. So that's why garbage collector, if there are no references to any object on the heap, it will delete it after some time. So here in this particular scenario, what happens is, since B and C are both referring to the same object, and first book object does not have any references, after some time garbage collector will delete this object and clean up the memory that is allocated for this. Okay. Now let's see the another thing. Now here, since B and C are referring to the second object. Now let's say I use this statement C equal to null. So when you use C equal to null, what happens is actually C equal to null, there is no object, or what happens is whatever the remote control or the reference that is present in the C, it gets assigned to the null, okay. So So if there is something null, then this link gets deleted. Now in this particular diagram, both B and C are referring this. Now I want to break this link. Okay, if I want to break this link, I should not have something the reference. I'll assign C equal to null, so that I can break this link, but the object can still be present and it can be accessed by the B. When I do this C equal to null, the C variable of type book that will not have any references, and then what happens is will not have any references to any object, and this reference variable will become null. So by the end of this diagram, what happens is you have one object on the heap, you have two objects on the heap actually, but one object will get deleted, and you have one more object that is referenced by the B, and you have this is not there, okay, and you have another variable that is not reference, that is null reference. So this is what all about reference variables, how to create an object, how to assign that to a reference variable, and how to access it. We have discussed about the like life and death of an object as well on the heap, right? So in the next video, we will talk about arrays. Thank you.